LeBron James all the way in.
All right, guys. Next thing we're going to move on to is some more, I would say, not as coherent recruiting, but we got some recruiting in.
Yeah, they're not hiding. They're not hiding it. I mean, I guess then again, this isn't the 76ers actually doing this.
This is some, I think it's some like real estate company.
It is Power. It's called Power. I don't know what they do though. They're like an appliance store, I think.
Yeah, they have no stores in Ohio.
It's a Power Home Remodeling Company based in Chester, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and they have no ties to Ohio or anything like that. There's no stores there. But basically, they bought 3 billboard signs with one saying, complete the process. We want LeBron or something like that.
Yep, it's number 23 with a crown.
Yeah, 23 it's basically like, just think of a court, but you have all the positions of Saric, Covington, Embiid, Simmons, all those guys, and then LeBron James with the crown on it. Basically, a way for NBA teams to pay other companies in the area to pay for billboards to recruit.
Basically, yeah. I mean, this is pretty smart. I mean, the biggest question that this leaves me with, right, is where does Philly actually rank on where we think LeBron would go?
Yeah.
Number 1, I'm tempted to say is just Cleveland. Right?
Yeah, I think it's probably Cleveland.
Number 2, see, this is a toss-up, right? Because a lot of people would just quickly say the Lakers, right? Some people say the Lakers are number 1. Not so sure. Like, honestly, I think Philly has a pretty decent shot.
I think Philly has the same shot as teams like Houston. I think Houston was also in the running for LeBron. I think Houston and LeBron the Lakers have the same chance of getting LeBron. I think Lakers would be cool, and I think LeBron's probably tempted to go to the Lakers just based on the fact that it's L.A. Yeah. You have a couple homes there. You can raise your kids in L.A. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, you have to deal with LeVar Ball, which I don't think...
They'd send him.
They'd probably trade.
I think they would send Lonzo somewhere else.
Yeah, probably. Even though,
Or LeBron would just be like, shut up.
Yeah,
know?
Probably.
LeVar would probably shut up for LeBron, I would assume. Maybe not, though.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for people that kind of act a certain way to change their, like, personality to being, like, more quiet, more meek when you're more expressive.
I do think Philly's probably the best fit.
Philly would be an interesting fit. I think it makes sense in a couple ways. First of all, you're still in the East, which is an easier division until, more people move out to the East.
Yeah.
You have probably the best young group of core players.
Definitely.
You have players like Embiid. You have your big men who can get you rebounds, which is what I think the Cavaliers are really lacking in these last couple games, especially in that San Antonio game I watched. They just couldn't get a board, and San Antonio got a couple offensive rebounds that kind of shifted the momentum towards their end, which...
It's tough. They need Larry Nance to really step up on the boards.
And they need Tristan Thompson to...
Tristan Thompson's trash.
Even though he had an okay game yesterday, it's still not to the standard of what he once was, getting those boards. I mean, I just remember those years when they won the championship. He got a lot of boards, and then...
Dude, he dominated that
game, and I'm not going to say it's because of this Kardashian curse, but...
It might be.
There's a reason why James Harden's playing better, and Tristan Thompson's playing way worse.
There's a reason Blake Griffin's in Detroit. Joke of the day. But like I actually think just seeing LeBron in Philly would be such a great fit for him because it's Ben Simmons and him would both play like the point forwards.
Yeah.
Right? Mostly Ben Simmons, I think. I think LeBron would let Ben Simmons do it most of the time. And then Joel Embiid, like, there's no better big man to pair with right now. Then he's got shooting. JJ Redick, if he decides to come back, if they can afford to get him. Yeah, I'm sure if he's willing to take like a veteran's minimum, maybe a little bit more, maybe like $5-6 mil. Yeah, that's a tough sell.
You'd
have to really be
especially since he made like 19 this year.
19, yeah.
Yeah, so
he could make that somewhere else too. In this market, he might not actually be able to get that. So he might be able to keep JJ Redick. I bet he's feeling pretty salty about not taking a multi-year contract though.
I think he probably, if you think he would have taken a multi-year contract, he probably wouldn't have made as much as he would if he just took a 1-year contract.
Maybe. I mean, he still would have been getting better than he's going to get.
I mean, like 19 mil for 1 year, and then you can sign wherever you want.
Yeah, and I mean, I listen to like the JJ Redick podcast, and he seems like a nice guy. He seems like he wants to win, right?
Yeah.
So if that's really the case, taking some sort of the mid-level
exception, yeah.
Yeah, he could stay there, right? And then they got Covington. Saric is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Their bench is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I like that team. And Mr. Psychosomatic shoulder injury himself could come back too.
Yeah.
Mr. Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, maybe LeBron can help mentor him and hopefully, get his head right.
That team is like let's say Markelle Fultz comes
pans
back,
out to be something.
Let's say he comes back.
Okay, just comes back. Okay.
He comes back and he's half of what people thought he was going to be, right?
All right.
He could just be a bench player, right?
Yeah.
But even half of what Markelle Fultz was supposed to be is a really above average point guard in the NBA. And they get LeBron, that team's stacked. And you give Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid another year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just imagine I'm really getting a little fictional here too, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say Ben Simmons learns how to shoot.
Yeah, this is science fiction right here.
Let's say he learns how to shoot. Markelle Fultz can actually move his shoulder above, his head.
There was a video of him shooting a turnaround jumper that actually looked pretty good.
They probably filmed that 700 times. No. But that team's stacked.
Yeah.
That team would be in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly it would be Boston next year when they get Hayward back. It's Boston and Philly if they got that, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget Cleveland. They're going to be pretty good without LeBron, too. I'm just kidding. They're not. They'll be decent.
They'll be decent. I think with this trade, especially this last one, I think it leaves the Cavs in a better position than they would have been if they would have not made the trade at all.
100%.
Because, I mean, if they would have not made the trade at all, they probably would go back to their first overall pick.
Oh, they would have been bad. They would have been real. I mean, what if that team's best player was Isaiah Thomas next year? That team would be trash. Like Isaiah Thomas with Ty Lue as the coach. Oh my gosh, it'd be ISO. It'd be awful. I don't know. I actually would really enjoy seeing LeBron go to Philly. Like the LeBron, Joel Embiid night-to-night dynamic between the two of them would be so entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if LeBron would buy in though. That's my biggest question to the youth process.
I think with these guys taking maybe like a year off, a couple years for Joel Embiid's sake, they took a couple years off. He got better skill-wise. I think he really showed something in the All-Star game when they went 1-on-1 with Paul George, and he just blocked the hell out of him. I'm sure LeBron was looking at it and he was like, I could see myself playing with this guy.
If LeBron goes back and watches the fourth quarter of that All-Star game and watches Joel Embiid specifically, there's no way he doesn't want to play with him. He was a absolute force of nature in that fourth quarter. Like he was unguardable by anybody on the court, and he could guard anybody on the court too. Mm-hmm. He was probably the best player in the fourth quarter. Like if he had played like that in the starting in the second quarter, he could have been MVP, really. But it is what it is. Joel Embiid was impressive in that game.
Yeah, exactly. I think he is one of those players that I think LeBron looks at and he's like, all right, this guy's a little bit more developed now. He's not as raw as he once was when he came out of the draft. Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons is becoming a better player if he can learn how to shoot. They both have the same agent. They're both part of the same agency, LeBron and Ben Simmons. So there's probably some connection there that you could, finesse your way in there. I think it'd be a good fit. I think it would be a very interesting team, especially to go against the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody on the Warriors that's guarding Joel Embiid. It's Kevin Durant, right? But honestly, I think Joel Embiid's still getting...
Either that or, we might see Zaza up a cheap shot, just kind of take out his knee.
Just take the steel pipe.
Which we will be talking about later on.
Take the steel pipe out of his sock and, Nancy Kerrigan. No, Tanya Hardingham, not Nancy Kerrigan. She's the one that got hurt. Sorry, Nancy. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I would be very curious to see if LeBron... I mean, think about the one thing that people always say for the Lakers, right? Mm-hmm. That would be the ultimate capping piece for LeBron's legacy is to
Right.
take a storied franchise to a title. People say that about the Knicks too, right?
Mhm.
I honestly think Philly's like not that far off of that. Like as a city, if he was to
I think
go
as a
there,
city, yeah, not as like an organization.
yeah, not as a storied franchise, you know.
Yeah.
But just as far as how bad they were
Mhm.
a few years ago, you
Right.
know, and it wouldn't necessarily be all LeBron's doing if he went
Mhm.
there and won a championship with them.
Right.
But he would get a lot of credit for it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right in saying that. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, this was kind of a sly tactic to get LeBron over there. A couple of cool looking posters, I would say.
Are you conspiracy theorying that this was the 76ers doing?
I think it was the 76ers doing it. I don't think there's any way that you would just have some random, like, home remodeling agency group just have 3 billboards.
Why? It can't be that expensive.
Well, I'm not sure it's that expensive, but why would they? You know, they're a remodeling company. They're not like a. I mean, like with LeBron coming to their city, I mean, maybe, you know, it's like, hey, you know, if we can get LeBron here, maybe he can sign a sponsorship deal with us and we can work with him.
Maybe.
But I think it's the 76ers doing. I think they said, you know what, we're gonna pay you this amount of money. These are the billboards we want you to use.
If the Eagles hadn't just won the Super Bowl, I would agree with you. But I think because Philadelphia is...
I think because they won the championship,
See,
they.
I think because they're riding the championship high, there's people in their city who are like so about it that they're willing to just throw their money into some billboards in Cleveland.
I think it's the opposite. I think because the Philadelphia Eagles won a championship, the 76ers are like, all right, we're not the talk of the town anymore because trust the process is being overrun by Eagles championship wins and their championship trophy. That the 76ers are like, all right, we need to create more buzz. How can we do it better than the Eagles? Let's try and get LeBron over to our team.
See, you're speculating that there's some inner city rivalry between these two teams, right?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, when
I
you...
feel like there's not. I'm getting a different read from these guys.
Like, it's not that it's like a rivalry. It's just that we want more headlines because, you know, the 76ers, or not 76ers, but the city of Philadelphia was basically trust the process, trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then since the Eagles won the championship and, you know, destroyed their whole city,
Fly, Eagles, fly.
they just thought, you know what, the Eagles just won their championship. We're probably not going to be getting as much news.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can just finesse our way to get LeBron here. Let's just get a random company, not even like sports related or anything. Just let's get some random or some random company. We give you our 3 billboard designs. Here you go. Here's the money.
Interesting. I mean, regardless, it's brilliant marketing for that company. Whatever they,
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows the name of this company. Some, you know, home remodeling company outside of Philly now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Power Home Marketing or whatever, home remodeling.
I mean, unless they're trying to, you know, enter in the Ohio market, then I don't understand why they would.
They're not.
Yeah.
They just want LeBron. I don't know. It's pretty interesting though. I like your conspiracy theory. I'm usually the one who comes up with the conspiracy theories. I'm glad it's not me with the tinfoil hat today.
Let's get you're the one with the hat on today.
Oh, well, I don't have a tinfoil hat on today. Usually that's me. I always have a feeling something fishy's about.
Yeah.
Not with this one. I actually think this is legit.
Legit. Okay.
I think Power is trying to get LeBron.
Power.
That's the name of the company, right?
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking of like the show Power.
The
Of like,
show Power. They want LeBron.
you know what? I wouldn't blame them if they want
I
LeBron.
wouldn't be surprised either.
All right, you ready to move on?
Let's move on. Let's talk
All
some
right.
power rankings.